So guys, this is the video making wave on the social media. Gun mounted bikes that have guns mounted on them. Terrorists who were entering Plateau State were stopped by the Nigerian military, guys. This is unbelievable. Now see how this headline captured it. It says, breaking, ISWAP fighters intercepted en route to Jos with gun mounted bikes and military grade weapons. These are battlefield weapons, not backyard rifles. How did Islamic State West African province acquire this level of firepower? From attack military bases, through cross-border armed trafficking, or from insiders who within the system. Terrorists don't build armored arsenal in the bush. Nigeria deserves answer. Nigerians deserve answer. And Nigeria to save life. That is what this person is saying. Now, another person also tweeted about this, saying Nigerian military caught ISWAP members with their gun bikes who were probably on their way to Jos. How did these people get this type of sophisticated weapons? So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the video. This is coming at a time when the Tinubu's government has been accused to have paid terrorists, during the last kidnap that happened in Kebbi State. We are now being told that the Tinubu's government paid those terrorists millions of US dollars. So the question remains, is that where they are getting the money to fund themselves in buying all these sophisticated weapons? Like you can see this headline here that talks about what is happening in Nigeria, how the Tinubu's government is paying terrorists after they kidnapped school children. This headline here says the Nigerian government paid Boko Haram militants millions of dollars to free up to 230 children and staff. The jihadists abducted from a Catholic school in November. Intelligence sources tells AFP. AFP is a media house from France, guys, and you can see how sophisticated these weapons that these people are carrying. These are, gun mounted bikes, or bikes that have guns already mounted on them, and none of these is a simple weapons, guys. This Nigeria is really falling. There is violence all over the places across Nigeria. Now you must have heard that Peter Obi went to Edo States to welcome Olumide Apata into the ADC. Guess what? There was an attack. There was an attack at the venue of that occasion, guys. Everywhere is boiling. Tinubu's incompetence is now glaring before Nigerians. Who knows who is going to be the next in this country? That is why everybody must raise his or her voices, because it's becoming a norm. Now let me show you how this American man has reacted to this news that the Tinubu's government paid terrorists to secure the 230 school children that were kidnapped from Kebbi State. This man here says, sadly, this is not just shocking at all. My working assumption has always been that ransoms, whether in cash or in kind, are being paid. What only fuels the crisis? Which only fuels the crisis? He said he knew that the Nigerian government is paying ransom to these terrorists, and when you ask them, they will tell you they are not paying, guys. This has left so many Nigerians talking about the level of insecurity and the way the Tinubu's government is pampering these terrorists. Now this guy too, Okechukwu, also reacted here saying, and we all wonder how the terrorists get their fundings. Easy, cool cash, guys. If the Tinubu's government is being accused by a foreign media to be giving these people money worth millions of dollars, that tells you that there is really a big problem in this country, guys. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
You see the baggers, they really mean to dislodge us, but God passed there. Say what is
about suspicious movement. Now that's a familiar pattern that we have noticed over time. Well, let's begin our guests. We are joined in the studio here in Lagos. We are broadcasting from by Prince Francis Chilaka. He's a political affairs analyst. Good morning, Prince, and thanks for joining us. Good to have you. We appreciate your presence. We will be joined by other guests in the course of the show, virtual guests from our outstation. For now, let's concentrate. Okay. Now, let's go to Benin and bring in Comrade Roy Oriabo. Comrade Roy Oriabo is an activist, but he is here in the capacity of a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Comrade Roy Oriabo, and thanks for joining us on VOP this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Our pleasure to have you. And from Oka Studio, we've been joined by Honorable Ejiofor Egwatu. Honorable Ejiofor Egwatu is former House Committee Chairman on Information and Anambra State House of Assembly. Is a politician, but he appears here in the capacity of a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, Honorable Egwatu, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me here.
Okay. And virtually, we've been joined by Comrade Eze Okosplomer, who was the 2023 Labour Party governor candidate in Ogun State. Good morning, Comrade Splendor, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you, sir. It's my pleasure to be with you again. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning. Beautiful. You have a full house. So let's kick off from here in Lagos. The Prince, my federal government, your federal government, our federal government, through the secretary to the government of the federation says, well, the people that are killing Nigerians, our fellow citizens, are not Nigerians. They are foreigners, French-speaking Nigerians. Now, Prince, can you react to that statement? How did it hit you? How did it hit you when you heard it?
Shameless.
Why?
The secretary to state of the secretary to government saying this shows you how shameless the government is. They are telling Nigerians who have been down in their numbers that foreigners are the ones coming to kill them. And they're probably saying it. How did they enter into this country in the first place? How did they enter into the country in the first place? Did they come as spirits? It simply shows you that our borders are porous. It simply shows you that those who are meant to man the borders are doing nothing. It simply shows you that the government is not taking the security of life and properties of Nigerians seriously. That is what it is.
No, does it look like, okay, if this is an admission that we have foreigners killing us, at least, we are, like, they say that the problem identified is half solved. But does it look like that we are the federal government knows who are killing us, the people that are killing us now, and we escape, in solving the problem?
Your president had a good relationship with the president of France. I think these guys are French speaking. It means that they were colonized by France. So why is he not taking advantage of that relationship? Yes, why is he not taking advantage of that relationship? So how come it's taking them almost 3 years or so to identify these people? So where do we start from? Are you not saying that the Boko Haram, the insurgents, the rebels, all of them are foreigners?
No, let the secretary to the government of the federation say these people are not Hausa speaking. They don't speak fluent Hausa. But their French is fluent. What does that connote? What is he trying to tell Nigerians?
He's trying to tell Nigerians that they don't even know who they're fighting with. They're not wrong. Let me tell you a comment. If you go up north, unfortunately nobody wants to admit the fact that the core problem in the north that started this whole thing is the minerals that are mining in the north. It's the same minerals that are mining in the north. And we are those that are mining it. You remember your governors in the north came and said they want to suspend mining in the north for 6 months. And I asked, I said, is it government approved mining or illegal mining?
Okay, so you think the whole thing, the insecurity is economic related?
It is. Do you know what these guys are making for Nigerians? Do you know how much? We're talking about the north. Don't forget that Ondo State is coming as is another hotbed right now. Other states are receiving it.
Okay, because you have deposits there as well.
The last time they killed an Oba or whatever in the state, they kidnapped this defense staff. They kidnapped another person, I think 2 days ago. So they're moving in.
Okay, they're coming closer.
So who are they?
Okay, let's quickly run to Benin City let Comrade Roy help us make sense of what is happening. Comrade Roy, I'm with you now. Now, the secretary to the government of the federation also said something. He said, well, Nigeria is not the only country that is plagued by insecurity. What does that mean? Are you telling us to live with it or what? Can you help us explain his position on that?
Well, once again, thank you for having me. Any position from the government must be taken very seriously. And now that the government are able to say, well, those who are terrorizing us are French-speaking personalities. To me, that's a product of their own research. They are able to secure the position that You know, we have an illusion, we believe, some of us in this part of the world believe that once there is any strike, any act of terrorism, we could say Fulani herdsmen. Now that the government are able to situate it, taking the burden away from the Fulani herdsmen, I think they have sufficient information. I'm not government, I'm far away from the government. They have information more than what we have. Therefore, to me, let's listen to them. Maybe with this they can get a solution, because I'm one of those who believe, and I'm informing Nigerians that we are not supposed to be continue to lament. That we should look for a way to look for solution. I'm not legit of solution. The lamentation, the book of lamentation was not written because of Nigeria. I'm a legit of
now that the government is telling us this, but we also hear Nigerians who have been victims of these attacks, you know, people in Benue Plateau that have been killed, that are saying, or that say, well, these people at some point were cow herders, and they spoke a certain Fulfudo language, you know, and when they strike in some parts of the south, what we hear were the people that attacked us were speaking a particular Fulani language, Fulfudo. So that is some form of contrast with what the federal government is telling us. So what are they trying to achieve? Because from the intelligence they have and from what the victims see and know, these things are different. Recall that the former chief of defense staff, now the Ministry of Defense, also told us that the people that are killing Nigerians are foreigners. They didn't even classify them. Now we get a classification. Oh, they don't even speak fluent Hausa, they speak French. So how do we balance all of that?
We look at the way this terrorism started in this country. It started from the Boko Haram. And those Boko Haram can be situated. We know where they are from. We are aware of the man who is the founder of Boko Haram. We can also explain how the Boko Haram metamorphosed. You know, if as of today, what you are telling me now is that if as of today, the Nigerian government is saying that the Fulanis are not the one responsible again. This is another dimension to it. We started from Boko Haram, Iswap, different names are coming up. And we now saying we have been told that Boko Haram is not as serious as they were. They are not as viable and potent as they were. You understand me? Therefore, some foreign persons are not coming. The Nigerian government is telling us that these are French-speaking persons. What they are telling us in lesson is that we are aware of the situation. The Nigerian government are taking responsibility. They are taking responsibility that our people are being terrorized. Our people are being killed on a daily basis. Our people are being kidnapped. But these are the persons doing it. To me, that is a step. What we should be demanding from Nigeria, I agree with the Nigerian government that there are killings. Killings is not totally related to the war. Terrorism is not only, as the last time was monitored the international news, when I saw the Mexicans, when they also passed through there. And I'm not only doing for the Nigerian government, but I'm telling you that these are their position. To me, they are not more equipped in terms of information gathering. They are not more equipped in how they will tackle. Since we don't know who we are fighting, I think it would be better for the government, when I say we government, to also provide solution and tackle these terrorists. Because now the matter is getting closer. Who are you going to, Mr. Koro, who are you going to take more serious? Is it the Nigerian government giving you information? Or those people were kidnapped a year ago, people who were kidnapped 2 years ago?
Thank you very much.
All the government is sending you today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's bring the other guests into the conversation as well. We have Honorable Egwatu. Honorable Egwatu, good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. Now, some would say, does it matter what language, what tongue terrorists speak? Should that bother us really? Because Nigerians are saying our people are being killed. People are being driven from their ancestral land. Their houses are burnt. Women and children are killed. And we hear people are kidnapped as well. 200 and, in fact, between January and February 23, record has it that over 323 people, Nigerians, have been killed by terrorists. So, what tongue terrorists speak? Is that what we should be talking about at this time? Or ensuring the safety of Nigerians? This statement made by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, does it give you how does it make you feel? Do you have do you feel like government is serious in dealing with this issue at all? But if you have a question and you want to react, you might need to unmute your device so we can get your audio feed. All right, unfortunately, we can't get audio from Comrade Roy. I beg your pardon, Comrade Ejiofor Egwatu. We can't get audio, so I'll bring you back to the studio.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Go right ahead, please.
Okay. I think the best thing I was expecting to hear something from the Secretary to the federal government after telling us they have identified these terrorists as French-speaking. We are expecting to hear the efforts the government is now employing to drive away the French-speaking terrorists. I was expecting to hear what the government has done to get these French-speaking terrorists arrested, and then what they have done about them. Just telling us they are French-speaking is like...
I'll tell you what they've done. I'll tell you what they've done. I mean, that was going to be my next question, actually. He said the president's visit, within the same breath, he said the president's visit to Turkey was to acquire drones. That's something that they've done. But what have we seen in the past days? We've seen terrorists acquire drones that could, bomb camps just by being controlled from a remote location. So you start to, I don't know.
It's obvious the terrorists are getting more technically hit. It's obvious they are being, so much money is being pumped into that terrorism. And I think the government needs to attack their source of income. Who are behind this sponsorship? I don't think it's just the money they realize from kidnapping and all the rest of them. Somebody mentioned mining industry and some economic factors. The government should look at this thing. This terrorism is taking a new shape. It's taking a new form. The people who are dying in Nigeria, we need to be very sure of government effort to stop this killing. The most important thing is that these killings are stopped completely. The most important thing is that Nigerians are free to live around in their respective villages, homes, and abroad without fear of terrorism, without fear of attack. So the kind of technology they are employing is an uncomfortable situation. Government should do much more than it is doing now. This is a very pathetic situation. Government should do much more than they are doing now.
All right.
You can't tell me that the Nigerian government is about to obtain drones. How now? We should have had enough drones now before now. What about the funding? The military in the Nigerian budget, the military is getting a large chunk of budgetary allocation, and it's also getting a large chunk of releasing. So many infrastructural developments are not getting as much releases as the military is getting just for the fight of this terrorism. And so we should see them acquiring everything that they need. Acquiring drones shouldn't be a news for every Nigerian to jump at. We are supposed to be the giant of Africa. How can acquiring drones become new? Drones have always been used by so many countries long years before now, and Nigeria should not be found wanting of that. So acquiring drones is not a very palatable news.
Okay, so that's not a palatable one, but some will say that at least that will reduce the number of men that will be found in the theater of war, because with drones you need lesser men on ground. That's the argument that some will put forward. Prince Francis Chilaka, let me take you up on this, this drone acquisition from Turkey, as said by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, reacting to foreign terrorists, foreign individuals that are in Nigeria. Now, if you followed the past few days, like I said, now the
Secondly, to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume is saying this. But sometime last week, we heard that terrorists acquired about 35 drones. Does it seem like there's a sabotage somewhere? Because the government, and if you follow up the visit of the president to Turkey and the relationship Nigeria has had with Turkey, you will understand that they have constantly warned Nigeria about the presence of a terrorist group in Nigeria who they say are embedded in charitable work, hospitals, schools, and the rest of them. They've told Nigerians that these people are here, drive them away. Now the president going there gave some Nigerians the impression that yes, he's beginning to align. But right after that visit, there was an acquisition on the other side. Is there a sabotage somewhere?
When we talk about sabotage, I mean, I'm happy. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm happy. Government has identified the problem," and like we say, you can only solve the problem when you identify. You can find a solution when you identify the problem. First and foremost, Okoro asked a question, very pertinent question. He said, "Who do you believe? Do you believe the man that comes to your house to maim, to rape, and to kill your children, or he speaks a language you're a bit familiar with? You understand what I'm saying? He speaks a language you're familiar with. Maybe it's in Igbo, maybe it's Hausa, maybe it's Fulfulde, he speaks. Or do you believe somebody who stays outside and insinuating that this man is speaking this language?" So, until we balance that, I would believe the man that was attacked. Because the man that was attacked has a first-hand information. He knows who attacked him. He understands the language they spoke. So for government to now come and say, "Oh, these guys are speaking," government is just trying to take Nigerians' mind out of the reality. If you're saying they speak French, for instance, are they the ones occupying the land, the ancestral homes of people that have been chased into IDP camps?
And renaming the LGs in those places?
Yes, so if they're the ones, and they're foreigners, why have we not decimated them? We must look at this critically. We're not dummies in this country anymore. Nigerians have become more aware. Nigerians have become more educated. So if you're telling me that, oh, they are foreigners, so foreigners have taken over, let's say, a community ratio, foreigners have taken it over. And the government feels that the best way to address it is to pamper them. They're not your citizens.
If they're not.
Your loyalty lies with your citizens. So you must take them out.
All right.
And return your citizens back to their ancestral homes. Then we now know that, okay, yes, it is foreigners. That's on the one side. On the other side, this, call them whatever name you want, terrorists or whatever, these guys are making so much money. Because we were saying that they bought drones. Did they just go to the market to pick it? They bought them with money. How did they do the transfer? Who paid for the drones? Are we saying that you can no longer track transactions? Okay, the way you and I are sitting down here now, if 100 billion hit our account, EFCC will track it. CBN will track it. Why are they not able to track how these guys are buying this equipment? And why is it that the government has kept quiet, very silent? And that silence is the fact that, first of all, we heard that list was given to the former late president. Nobody's talking about it. Why is government finding it difficult to come and name those who are sponsoring banditry in Nigeria? Why?
Can we also talk about the fact that it appears like there's a lot of complicity and lack of political will? Because why do you think these bandits would actually write to a community in Kebbi State and ask them to pay 100 million naira protection fee? You know what exactly is happening?
When you allow non-state actors to wield so much power, you embolden them. When this thing started, when they started holding these meetings, we were here, we said this is wrong. This should not be encouraged. You cannot tell me that, we hear this story about vampires, and they say vampires live on human blood. And then you have 10 children, and you go and start negotiating with a vampire that needs the blood of your children to survive. Do you think you will spare any of them? Nobody tests sugar and spits it out.
Okay. All right, Prince. We'll come back to you. Now, let's quickly run to Comrade Splendor Oko, who is also with us on the show. Now, Comrade, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. If the federal government is coming to tell us that the people that are killing Nigerians, our citizens, are French-speaking people, does it look to you like this problem has been internationalized? Does it take in an international dimension? Mind you, we have ISWAP here, Islamic State West Africa province, an offshoot of ISIS. We're also told that Lakorawa came in through the borders from Sokoto State. So do you see an internationalization of this problem to the extent that we might just have some people, proxies, sponsoring this war against Nigeria? And to what end would that be?
Thank you so much, Mr. Oko. I will start by saying that I'm highly disappointed from the statement made by the Secretary to the Federal Government, Senator George Akume, by stating that the terrorists who are killing Nigerians, who are abducting Nigerians, who are causing mayhem to the citizens of this country, speak French. Let me tell you, Mr. Okoro, we are not interested in the language the terrorists speak. We are interested in making sure that these terrorists are completely annihilated from this country. That is the interest of Nigerians. Whether they speak Latin, or they speak Voodoo, or they speak French, is not our business. Let me also tell you that it is very disheartening that these terrorists have wielded much power that they can attack states like Zamfara, Benue State, Katsina State, Kwara State, Kebbi State, Niger State. They are gradually taking over the country. And the government is coming out to tell us that they have identified that they speak more of French. The government is telling us that they have gone to acquire drones. Is that supposed to be a solution to this? For me, when this thing started, I said, you don't pay compensation, you don't bargain, you don't dialogue with terrorists. Well, once you find out that a certain group are terrorists in the country, the next thing you do is to make sure you take them out of the surface of the country. That is it. You don't bargain with terrorists. You don't dialogue with terrorists. Now these terrorists are beginning to, conquer the citizens, beginning to chase the citizens out of their ancestral home, and beginning to take over. Just like we all know that in Benue State, for instance, these terrorists struck Benue State, chased out the people who are native owners of the land, occupied the place, and the people who were so attacked in Benue State came out to say that these people speak Fudu language. They didn't say that they speak French. These are people who witnessed that attack. They are victims of that attack, and they have said they speak Fudu. Then the federal government, through the secretary to the federal government, is now telling us that these people speak French. For me, whether they speak Fudu or they speak French, Nigerians are Splendor.
Okay, I want us to expand and deepen this conversation. I want us to talk about the probable internationalization of this problem. We recall that at some point we had ECOWAS, 3 countries, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, left the ECOWAS and formed the Alliance of Sahel States. Now, at that time, our president was the chairman of ECOWAS, heads of government and all of that. And we also know that at some point we had a problem with Niger. If we take away ISWAP, Islamic State West Africa, more like a proxy for some Middle East organization that might be interested in having a foothold in West Africa and Nigeria, the arc between the Chad basin and all of that could be, their flashpoint. If we take that away, does it look like the Alliance of Sahel States, maybe from Mali, that route, we also, before insecurity met on us, we had a situation where it was a traveling route for the smuggling of light arms and ammunition. Could it be these French people are not happy with Nigeria and trying to say, okay, since you want to cause trouble for us, let us also cause trouble for you? Is it probable that that's what we are seeing? Can you help us make sense of it? What do you think? What do you know? I want us to talk about the international aspect of this crisis, because it looks like Nigeria has become some kind of interest for a lot of foreign powers. Now, US is here. We are going to talk about US in a bit, but let's talk about maybe the Alliance of Sahel States. Could they be the one, helping themselves, to cause problem in Nigeria? What do you see? What do you know? What do you think?
Much, I think whether it is internationally sponsored or locally sponsored, what we are facing is terrorist attack. Let me tell you something. You see, when somebody said that the Secretary to the Federal Government said that these people speak more of French, obviously it is already an international attack on Nigeria. And like the guest in the studio said, how are they entering Nigeria? Are they spirits? Does it mean that we don't have borders again? Does it mean that our borders are so porous that we cannot even identify these men when they come in? Look at the type of weapon these men are coming in with. Does it mean that there is a conspiracy in the protection of our borders? These are some the questions we ask ourselves. Secondly, when we talk about French-speaking people, we know that they are coming from France. Does it mean we don't have this bilateral relationship with France that can say, okay, let us team up? Our president has been going there. Let us team up. Let me discuss with the president of the French-speaking country that these people are attacking us through your borders. Help us to see how we can annihilate it. And also, don't forget that Nigeria is an independent country. Nigeria is supposed to fight this type of attack, with their independent military base. You see, it was because of the inability to tackle this, whether you call it foreign attack or local attack, that necessitated, the American government led by Donald Trump to say that Christians are being killed and we cannot keep quiet anymore. We are going to come and see what we can do about it. And when that statement came, when they declared Nigeria as a country of particular concern, some persons were like, oh, they are not supposed to do that. Nigeria is independent and all that and all that. Now, Nigeria is now telling us that they are collaborating with American government to see how they can fight this insecurity. But, take it to the bank, whether it is from France, whether it's from Cameroon, whether it's from Togo, whether it's from Turkey, whichever country it's from. I'm so
glad you come from the U.S. government's intervention, but it's just more than 20 days in February, and over 300 people have been killed. So is it that we should have a little more patience so that we can see the effects, the good work of the American intervention, or what is really happening? Because we are not feeling it.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe that American government is such a government that actually handles this kind of attack technically. I believe they are studying the ground. That Nigerian government, who is the leader, who is in charge of the country, is supposed to be ahead of even the American government that have come. They are supposed to be at the forefront of tackling this insecurity, whereby the American government that just arrived will be giving them backup, will be giving them security coverage, will be giving them information, with their technologies they have brought into the country. The Nigerian government cannot just fold her hands and now say, now that American government is in Nigeria, let them now do the rest for us. That's not how it is done. There should be a collaboration. And I believe that in no distant time, if American government is very serious with dealing with this insurgency, dealing with these terrorists in the country, I believe that very soon the results will start coming in. But for me, I want to tell the federal government that they are not doing enough. The federal government is not doing enough. But telling us that they are acquiring drones and telling us that these people are from French, that they are French-speaking people. It's not enough to convince Nigerians that we should know about.
Comrade, one of the things this administration prides itself as doing is rehabilitating some of these so-called repentant bandits. And just a few days ago, the Benue State governor came under fire for pleading with the federal government to come and build a rehabilitation center for bandits in Benue State, and a lot of people have called for his head. So do you think that this is misplaced priority?
It's completely misplaced priority. How do you even identify, how do you even convince yourself that these persons are repentant bandits? How do you rehabilitate somebody who has been killing the people, who has been maiming the people, who have been destroying villages, who have been rendering people homeless, and then you only come to say that you are rehabilitating them? How did you even know that they have repented from that onslaught? Okay. So for me, I think it's a misplaced priority.
Misplaced priority, you say. Well, we are trying to get concluding thoughts on this one. So when we move, we'll be moving away from the issue of insecurity and talking about something different, politics, the political space specifically. Now, should we take that as your concluding thoughts, or is there something you want to add? If you may, you can do that in 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to advise the federal government to buckle up. Don't be deceived with the fact that these people speak French or they speak Fudu. That the federal government should concentrate in making sure that these terrorists are completely wiped out from Nigerian surface.
All right, then.
That is what we want to hear. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Comrade Oko Splendor. Now let's go to Ejiofor Egwatu. Honorable Ejiofor Egwatu, please, your concluding thoughts.
I think the federal government having identified the nationality or whatever of these terrorists should do everything within its power to make them. They should be driven out of this country. We shouldn't give them the chance, the space, the opportunity to oppress here again. Right. And then we should, as a matter of urgency, begin to deal with terrorism, local part of it, because I don't believe that all the terrorists are coming from French-speaking countries. Some of them are very local too. So some of these local ones should be dealt locally.
And the international ones should be dealt with internationally.
Yes.
All right then. Thank you very much, Honorable Ejiofor Egwatu. Comrade Roy Oriabo, let's have your concluding thoughts now. You know, the government is saying, some would say, let me just put this out there, some would say this is diversionary because, you know, you're saying they speak poor Hausa and they're more eloquent in French, and elections are around the corner. Is this trying to, you know, pander to this side, not make this side feel like, you are the bad guy, things like that? Oh well, what are your concluding thoughts on this one?
There are different dimensions to the insecurity that have bedeviled this country. You know, there are religious dimension is there, political dimension is there, cultural dimension is there. But the issue, I believe, as I said, as agent of solution, you know, Nigerians must support Nigerian government so that they can be able to overcome this insecurity. Very just now, we saw it, some persons were protesting. When the US said they were interested, they want to support the Nigerian government. Some of the strike they did in Sokoto, some Nigeria came out and they were protesting against it. These are persons who were also victims of the heartless disposition of this terrorism. Yet, they were protesting. I mean, we need that synergy, because now, being being government, being a governor, a president, a secretary to the federation does not make you a superhuman being. You are not reasoning more than any Nigerian. Therefore, we must look there at that level so that we also need to give them that support so that they will be able to deliver. Because the people in government today were once on the other side. If tomorrow Mr. Okoro speaks from this platform to be a minister, that does not mean that it's not from this platform. By the time we have this kind of dimension, and nobody is even interested where the insurgency, the terrorism, until we go back to the foundation. What are the foundation? One, the day we introduced Sharia into our political lexicon, that was the day Nigeria as a country, that was the day we embraced insecurity. From there, we embrace insecurity, and peace have since eluded us. We must go back to it, and that is the religious dimension about it. The day the people were now coming that when we meet Sharia in this country, that is the beginning of our problem. Until we revisit that, we will continue to struggle and continue to thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much. Comrade Prince Francis Chilaka.
What do you want me to say? Well,
Your concluding thoughts.
Well, my concluding thought is that the government needs to be sincere with Nigerians. You can't be asking Nigerians to support you in the fight against terrorism when you're not being honest and sincere with them. A lot of lives have been lost, and for government to now come out and begin to lay the blame on foreign nationals is just diversionary.
Thank you very much. Well, gentlemen, stay with us as we get into another conversation now.
Here, I do not have any problem with anybody who decides to play any kind of politics. But the very moment you start playing politics with the lives of the people, the very moment you start playing politics with humanity, then I need you to mark it somewhere that the universe is waiting for you in an end that you may never understand. Anybody who is boldly supporting the continuation of the government we have in Nigeria today, that person does not mean well for this country. You may elect to Google it. Google life expectancy, the countries with the lowest life expectancy in the world. And you will shockingly discover that Nigeria happens to be number one. 54 years. Life expectancy in Nigeria. So those of us who are above 54 years, it is assumed that we are living by the grace of God, because all the indices that support the good health are not in existence in Nigeria. You do not need to ask me what they are, because you know. And this government that is ruling us today, tell me what they have done to improve on health care. Tell me what they have done to improve on anything at all, and I will not be able to show you. We are living by the grace of God in this country. Everything is on a standstill. Nothing is functioning. The only thing that is functioning in Nigeria is politics. Year in, year out. Serious amount of money are being budgeted for different departments. And we are beginning to hear that the money that will eventually get to those departments are not even up to 20% of the budgeted sum. The remaining amount will always end up in private pockets of the people that want to become lords, people that want to become godfathers, godmothers, god demons, or whatever thing they are called. They want to continue to silence the people by using the money that they have stolen from the system to become lords over others, so that they will give bags of rice, give food stuff to people, and then they vote them back. Nigeria should be above where we are today. If you go to hospital, what kind of medical attention do you receive? If you call emergency, what is the result you get? The police officers that are standing along the road up till tomorrow, they are there collecting money from motorists along the road. I just drove from Ohofia yesterday back to my base in Asaba Delta State. I am going to work this morning, and this got laid in my spirit that I have to speak out. We want a country that is functioning, and this APC government is not promising anything. If up to today we cannot have anything, the president himself said it when he was campaigning for the last time, that if eventually he did not, that they have to give us electricity anywhere at all. If they fail to give us electricity, do not vote for me again. Why are you campaigning today, sir, with all due respect, when there is no electricity anywhere? You actually said that nobody should bill anybody anymore by estimate. But that is what we are still experiencing in Nigeria in your presidency. With all due respect, sir, you have not managed to do anything. Why are you boldly campaigning? Engaging the services of those they call the city boys and city girls. Development of a country is not based in the city. Development is local. When the people at the local level cannot say anything about you, you are, with all due respect, wasting your time in the cities. Nigeria will not always remain like this. Men and women that are saddled with the responsibility of leading, can you people at least lead? Can we do less of this corruption? What are we doing with money? Why are we leaving this country so impoverished? Because we want to have so much money in our bank accounts. What is money? What exactly is money? If this country will start to function, it is functioning for the good of all. Serious amount of monies are budgeted for departments of government. The money will not get to the departments and then ends up in private pockets. Nobody has gone to jail. Nobody has been in prison. All the people that are in prison for corruption in this country are those that fell out with government. Anybody who is still committed to the leaking of the boot of men and the women in power, they never end up in jail, no matter the level of their corruption. We have names of people. We are not going to mention the names, but we know the names of all the people, including the people who, the person that owns the house in Lagos, where a huge amount of money got discovered. Nothing has happened. Nothing happened eventually. We are seeing a whole lot of things. For how long will this continue? We are calling. Can government sit up? Can you help us? Can you help us? Why are people campaigning for a failed government? A government that has failed. A government that is accredited as living in denial before the eyes of global community. People are being massacred and we are playing politics with lives of people. The universe is looking. Crime of killing another is the biggest in the world. I belong to a community, the Igbo community in Nigeria. Taking life is the highest crime. We call it Igbo. Anybody that has taken human life in one way, you may not understand that you were not the one that took that life. But for the mere fact that you are covering up for those that took the life, that seed is on you. Anybody who is covering somebody who has committed the crime of killing another, shedding innocent blood, you were not the one that shed that blood. But for the mere fact you are covering the person that shed blood, that blood is on you. How many more blood can we shed in this country before we start thinking? I want to have a Nigeria that functions. Can we make it work? Please. Please.
So, you see, you Tinubu supporters, I will never support Tinubu, and I will tell you the reason. Number one, for me to support Tinubu, you have to convince me beyond reasonable doubt why I have to support Tinubu. You have to convince me. You have to convince me that in the whole of Yoruba land, Tinubu is the best candidate for the post of the president. That's number two. Number three, you have to convince me and show me evidences that Tinubu was a student of Government College Ibadan. Number one, was a student of St. John's Primary Carolina, was a student of Chicago State University, and that Tinubu real name was and is Tinubu. Because he has plethora of names. He has plethora of names. So, to the best of my knowledge, Tinubu has 5 different names. To the best of my knowledge, he has 5 different names. And I'll give you the names in the following order. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, number 1. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, number 1. Number 2, Bola Adekunle Tinubu. Number 2, Bola Adekunle Tinubu. Number 3, Yekini Ogunlere. Number 3, Yekini Ogunlere. Number 4, Amuda Shongodile. Number 4, Amuda Shongodile. Number 5, Lamidi Omoboriwo. Number 5, Lamidi Omoboriwo. So what's the real name of Tinubu? What's the real name of Tinubu? So I have to know his real name. I have to know his age, his real age, and I have to know whether he was a student of government college Ibadan or not. Then I can support Tinubu. If you can fulfill all those conditions, then I will support Tinubu. But for somebody to come to my inbox and think when you abuse me, that one will make me to support Tinubu, you are wasting your time.
So my brother, my sister, our sister, where they kidnap in Enugu State, they don't release her. But what happened? The family pay money, almost 2.something million naira. When they bring the money to give the kidnappers capture the person where bring the money. Then release the pregnant woman, make she go house. The other one where they kidnap Joseph, they release the man. The family have paid the money. They release the man. So they capture the brother of this pregnant woman, our sister. But later today, they don't release the brother. They don't release his brother. We are living in a wicked generation. They still pay almost 7.something million naira again. We are living in a wicked generation. In this situation we are into in Nigeria, poor man cannot buy food and eat. Hungry everywhere, hardship. They will kidnap poor people. They will kidnap poor people. Poor people will be selling their property. Go borrowing money just to give kidnappers, make kidnappers release their brother and their sisters. We are living in a wicked generation.
So guys, to end this section, let me take you through some of the reactions coming after Peter Obi and the ADC members were attacked in Edo State as they welcome Apata, the man who ran for the governorship position under the Labour Party in the last election in Edo State. He has defected to the ADC, and Peter Obi them alongside others went to receive him, and guess what? They were met by, attacks coming from hoodlums in Edo State, guys. Now, let me take you through some of the reactions coming from Nigerians. Like this person say, governor we no fit pronounce GCRF, governor we no fit read him own budget. APC, the miracle working party in Nigeria, are well prepared for you all. 2027, I swept for Nigeria. This one says, but you heard your ADC has issues with themselves. Oyegun group versus Senator OV group clash today. Stop directing your problems to the APC. ADC also has problem too. Two groups now. Wow. Now wow, APC just get sense. On a free and fair election, APC can't win. They can never win. They also know that. Who with his right conscience go to vote APC now? As in, what have you benefited? APC is a terrorist organization. Not only this red scarf she gets, she done hijack campaign for Obi hand just because she want trend now. Wow, this one is attacking Mama P. It's now engraved in history that it was during the time a Yoruba man was president, Nigerian youth lost their freedom and were being killed daily like flies, honestly. Hey, God forbid. APC should stop this madness now. Make them not turn this country to Libya, because none be only them fit shoot gun. Make them calm, jaw. Waiting they worry them for government where no be our papa own. And this other person here is scary, man. Hope no life was lost. This incoming election is not for the weak. Hey God, Onamumu too much. Stop tagging APC on this rubbish, I beg. This is the work of ADC, other faction. Them they vex say Yegun locked them outside and they started shooting. Una forget last year the kneeling governor said Peter Obi's safety is not guaranteed. Anytime he comes to Edo State, so don't be surprised. So High Chief Okoro, and this person said now APC chairman sent them. He can't deny it, and they are Kabaka boys which means Monday is aware of this. Monday Gbobolo. This person here say Tinubu and APC should be ashamed by now, but desperados no get shame. They play. You did that. You did that yourself. That's why you have confidence to be at that crime scene so soon, even without police officers. And this other person here say, and then you have the useless boy Gege saying Peter Obi can't win free and fair election against the Baron. 2027 will be the real test of every minute in Nigeria. It is Oyegun's group versus Ove group fighting for leadership of ADC. Oh, Baba. Poverty in Nigeria is just turning everything the other way around, guys. Can you imagine? Now, let's move back to these sophisticated weapons that were accosted somewhere in Plateau State. Let's see what Nigerians are saying. In Nigeria, bandits receive rehabilitation before their victims get support or justice, honestly. Their victims will not even get support though, but the bandits will get rehabilitation. No, it's not sophisticated. They simply modified the regular machine and made them gun bags. Someone skillful is making this modification. That's the sophistication. And this other person here say, where is the video of the army carrying out live dismemberment limb by limb on the terrorists? If not, the video above is propaganda. And this other person here say a lot needs to be done about this. Nigerians are really fighting many battles, corrupt politicians, bandits, and many others. And this other person here say let them meet their maker immediately. So guys, these are some of the reactions coming from Nigerians. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as regards to what is currently happening. What do you think about Peter Obi and the ADC not being safe in places like Edo State and even every other APC state? That's why Tinubu coerced governors to join the APC so that it will not be easy for Peter Obi to come to their states and do rally and campaign for the next elections, guys. This is what we are seeing. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more updates. Thank you.